residents in the audience. I'd like to introduce them, and would you please stand for a moment? Keith Darby. Keith's just moved in, the resident. Thank you, Keith. And we also have Roy Peterson and Lois Husby. They've also just moved in. Thank you for attending. We appreciate it. Now, those that can, let's stand for the Pledge of Allegiance, please. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. I now call the meeting to order, and Bob, would you please do the roll call for us?
Yes, President George Kemp.
I'm here.
Vice President Angela Fick.
Here.
Treasurer.
Turn on the
Wayne
mic.
Schweifler.
Turn on the mic.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
All right.
A lot of people.
Treasurer Wayne Schweifler.
Here.
Members at large, Beverly Adair. Karen Dorr is excused, and Pat Niemeyer, and I'm the secretary of Winter.
Here.
Bob, would you do the
Yes.
approval of the previous minutes, please?
Yes, you've all received the minutes of the August meeting, and I'll entertain a motion for their approval.
I so move.
Thank you. Unless there's discussion, we'll call it approved. Thank you.
I would like to get into the officers' reports. And the first one will be by Wayne Schweifler, our treasurer.
Good morning.
That's
Is
all.
this on?
No.
I don't think so. There it is. Now it's on. Okay, the treasurer's report covers the month of August, and we had a beginning balance of $22,627.16 at the beginning. Expenses during the month, $11,640.40. Income in the form of donations or transfers of $355. Leaving a balance at the end of the month of $11,341.76. Now, the bulk of that expenses were in the payment of the scholarship fund to 5 of the employees, and the total was $11,500. We did have a small income of $3,250, which came from the Coast Corner Thrift Shop. The Holiday Gift Fund had income of $292.50 also from the Cozy Corner Thrift Shop. Library Fund had expenses of $67.81 and no income. Happy Hour Fund had expenses of $72.59 and income of $30. There were no expenses for the general fund. Any questions? Thank you.
Thank you, Wayne. Angela? Angela, would you please give us the building and grounds report?
Good morning. The Building and Grounds Committee met on September 13, and attending were Gordon Finch, Chair, Roger Burrows, Alan Winterbotham, Wayne Schweifler, who is Acting Secretary, Alex Barba, our Director of Maintenance, and myself. In addition to the regular and ongoing daily maintenance that is occurring, the large pool clocks have been replaced, the women's restrooms lights have been fixed, and we're waiting for the delivery of the cushions, which have been ordered. Solar lights have been installed near the assisted living door. The casita rooftop drain cleaning is in progress. Hand rail covers for the railings between the main building and CC's are here, and Alex is looking for a good way to install them. Regarding the exterior lights, 45 have been replaced, and the electrician is coming next week regarding the parking area lights because some of them require rewiring. And a program of 2 shifts to replace the lights during dark hours has been established. So that will be ongoing from now on, hopefully. And some lights are going to be changed so that they will all be the same color temperature. Some are brighter than others, and Alex says it would look much better if they were all the same. So that's the goal for him. The window washing of the main building is complete, and it is ongoing for the casitas and CC's building. It's in progress. The roses have been pruned. A new AC unit was installed in the assisted living common area. A cooling tower was flushed. The fire suppression system is in progress of upgrades. So those are the things that have been accomplished and are ongoing. Are there any questions about building and grounds maintenance? Thank you.
Thank you, Angela. Pat, would you please tell us about the dining services?
Hello. Yeah, we had our dining services meeting on September 2nd, and a lot of things have changed by now, but I did want to say that we had 4 members present in addition to Angela and Ron, and they reported from Ileana. She was on vacation at that point, and so she did report, Angela reported that the tablets are still not being used. A new chef is still in the background, and we have 3 servers, Daniel, Andriana, and Nevada. And the dining room is open from 4 to 6. Come anytime. Reservations for 5 are over. And so she did her report, and Ron said that Ileana was doing very well and had some food costs that were cut. She had cut some food costs. One other thing I'd like to tell you, that due to the staffing, CC's will be closed every Monday for the month of September. And it was learned on Friday that Ileana has left. I heard that her husband got a new job in Florida, and he couldn't refuse it. So she is gone. And today we just learned that there is a new food director, Salvador Herrera, and he was supposed to start maybe 10 minutes ago. And we do have a new cook and a new service director. And I think so. It'll be a good week. We'll see what's going to happen. Anyhow, went to dinner last night, and the food is wonderful. We still have a little wait, but so do you have any questions? Yes.
Yeah, you said that one of the new servers was there. I thought she'd been working here for quite a while.
Yeah. Well, it was a surprise to all of us, I think. That's all I can say.
No, but.
Yeah, talking with her, she seemed like she was ready to go, and, but, you know. What?
Nevaeh isn't new, she has been here for a while, and she has been working at CC's, correct?
Oh, Nevaeh?
She's also filling in at the dining, in the dining room
Yeah,
also.
she is one of our
She's not,
servers.
she's not in the.
She's not new, no.
No.
No. I think I misunderstood you, so. Are there any other questions? Okay, thank you for your attention.
Because Karen isn't here today because of a doctor's appointment, Wayne will fill us in on what's happening in the Special Events Committee. Wayne?
Okay, even though I write the minutes, they don't have them with me, so it came as a surprise. The life loop is always a question that we bring up with Vanessa, and the status is that we're still waiting on several issues. One is that the people who were supposed to put in the new channel from local Spectrum still have not given her a date. The other aspect is that the Life Loop representatives are supposed to come in and help get all of the independent living names into the system so that she can notify us of our password and get that part of it going. We asked her to contact the head of the maintenance to see if he could get the Life Loop monitors operating full-time during the day because they tend to shut themselves off. Apparently there's a timer on them. We have a number of regular events that we encourage people to attend. The bingo on Wednesday evenings is there on a regular basis, but it probably is about half of what it used to be. Bunko, we moved from the north lobby to the auditorium because there were a limited number of tables, and we've gotten up, we had 4 tables on the last Saturday, which is almost double of what we've been using before. On Sundays, they opened up in August, both the charades and in September made an alternate of the beanbag game, both of which could be better attended. I think there were just 3 people showed up for beanbag last Sunday. Now, the dining out has been very popular and requires a sign up, and all alternate days are usually available because the first day usually signs up very quickly. So be sure to check the sign up book at the entrance to the dining room. Tomorrow evening is the stargazing trip, leaves here about 7:30, I believe. Also requires a sign up if it's not already full. And I'm sure there were a lot of other things that we talked about because we were there a long time. Any questions at the moment for the activities?
Is the candlelight dinner reset?
Candlelight dinner, I understand, has been canceled and it will be rescheduled, but I'm not sure when. They were not, they just said it was canceled. Any other questions? Thank you.
Other questions?
One more question.
I have a question.
Yes.
As a very new member, I'm just surprised that the dining room is so empty. Where do all the people eat?
Has anyone heard this question? It's a great question. He said, why is the dining room so empty? And where do they eat? In other words, is there another joint around where they all eat at? Unfortunately, it isn't. They just have gotten so used to eating in their unit, apartment or casita, that it's very difficult to get them to break that habit now and come to the dining room. But there's no other place that they can go to in here to eat. They can go out to a restaurant.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Any other questions for? I assume, Beverly, we have nothing to talk about for the scholarship. Correct. Good. Thank you. I noticed that we also had another new, two new people, new residents come in after I made the first announcement, and they're in the back, Max and Barbara Stern. Would you please stand up and be welcomed by the rest of us? Also, new members, residents this month. Thank you very much for attending. We had scheduled, there's been an ongoing committee interviewing new residents who have moved in the past 12 months and getting their suggestions, positive suggestions, on what they would have liked to have seen maybe happen as they were moving in. We have delayed that presentation until next month. So it will be in the October meeting that Bevadere's committee will be presenting the results of that. What we do have on tap for today is the council is to elect 3 members to a council-appointed nominating committee. And we told all the members last month of the council that they should go out and talk to people who they potentially could see on the nominating committee. So we've asked them if they have anyone to recommend or that they've talked to please submit their names this morning. So, council members, do any of you have any people to elect?
Yes, I'm suggesting Marilyn Scheckman, who has agreed to serve if elected.
Marilyn Scheckman has agreed to be on the nominating committee. She was on the committee last year. Anyone else have anyone to recommend?
I have one. I'd like to appoint Alan Winterbottom to the committee. He has agreed that he would serve.
Thank you, Alan. We appreciate your joining the committee this year. And I have one, and that is excuse me. Mr. Koenig. Mr. Koenig, who was the chairperson of the nominating committee last year, has agreed to be on the committee again this year. So we basically have the 3 people. Are there any other people or anyone from the floor who would like to be on the nominating committee for the council? Do we have a motion?
Mr. President, I'd like to make a motion that we accept the members that were proposed by our council members as duly nominated.
Do we have any discussion?
Second.
Second, do we have any discussion on these people? Since we don't, please consider that they are now a special committee of the council. A few more things I need to bring up and talk about, and that is that many of you in the audience I have talked to as far as going on to the resident council next year. And we have had some problems in getting enough people to fill the 3 vacancies that we do have to fill for next year. And because of that, I would like to make a motion that we have a one-time exception to our bylaws to allow a spouse onto the resident council for 1 year. And the person that I would like to talk about and have her serve for 1 year is Margot Schweifler, who would become a member at large as chairperson on the Special Events Committee. If you recall from the bylaws that we have changed, the members at large now will become the chairperson of a committee. No longer a liaison person that reports back to the council, these people, the members at large, will be the chairperson of the committees that they are assigned to. So I'd like to have a discussion as far as the council is concerned about my motion for a one-time exception to the bylaws for Margot. Anyone?
I think it's okay,
You feel it's all right to do?
yes.
Any other discussion, any other?
I'm certainly in favor of this review of the amount of work that she's done already and the work that has to be done and the shortage of our committee already.
Yeah, Margot has been the chairperson of the Special Events Committee for the past 2 years. I'd like to have a vote then. All in favor, please say aye and raise your hands.
All right.
Those against? Motion is carried.
I'll abstain.
We have an abstention here. He can't vote only one way. My God, if he votes no, he's not going to be able, she won't let him in the house. I really encourage you to, this next upcoming year, for the committees and things like that, to go on to a committee. You know, it's a lot of work. We've had some turmoil, and there's certainly, as you're aware of it, the food committee, which is now called dining services. You know, we really need your participation in these committees. And certainly, we want the new blood, and those of you who are just moving in, that's a great way to start getting your feet wet as far as coming back and giving something to the community, which you are now part of. So, with all of having that said,
I would just like to say thank you to the people that are willing to serve on the nominating committee. I hope you're not overwhelmed by the stampede of people wanting to serve.
see, he tells jokes too.
George, maybe mention to people that if they're interested in serving on one of our committees, who they should contact, how they can contact.
Yeah, if Angela's just stated a good point. That is, those of you who would like to be considered for next year on various committees, for example, Pat Niemeyer, she heads up the dining services, and we don't want anyone coming in and trying to teach our cooks how to cook a certain meal, but I'm sure Pat would fill you in on the various things that they are involved with. And so she would like to have some new names. We have Angela Finch, who's going to be the Building and Grounds chairperson next year. Those of you who would like to serve on that particular committee, Angela would be the person to contact for that committee. Beverly there, she doesn't know this, so she may faint when I say this. One of the responsibilities that Beverly's going to have next year is we have talked about forming a wellness committee. And this is what Beverly is going to try to do, and that is establish a wellness committee. And when we're talking about a wellness committee, we mean very few of us, including myself, understand totally what wellness is supposed to do as far as the residents are concerned. I do not have the faintest idea. For example, I know we have people who have trouble managing their medications. Does wellness come in and help out with those? And if so, is that person charged for those things? In other words, what are they charged for and what are they not charged for? I think more the wellness committee should be where the wellness director comes in and speaks to us and lets us know what things are going on. And at least if we have a committee, the committee would be meeting with the wellness director at least once a month during the meeting. So we have that as far as, I can't go into some of the other committee members because there'll be 2 new members at large, and of course they have to go through the nominating committee first. But we will certainly come out with a list. The nominating committee will come up and do their due diligence and interviews of the people that will be on the docket or on the ballot. They will determine who will be on that ballot for next year. Do we have any other questions that I can answer for you or someone can answer for you? Wayne, would you take the microphone out there, please?
There's a hand.
Joanne has her hand up at the back.
You had to be in back, huh?
Yeah, sorry.
Speaking of food, and this is no joke, and this mic is evidently not working too well.
It is.
Okay, now it is. We've asked about a dessert which some of us really enjoy, and that's mud pie. When Chef Becky was here, she said it was ordered and she promised it. Chef Becky is gone. Ilya also said it's coming. Ilya is gone. When can we get our mud pie?
Pat, can you put that down on your agenda? I will. The residents are sort of demanding mud pie as a dessert.
Question?
Roger.
You said that there are 3 on the council who are going to be replaced next year. Which positions on the council are those?
Karen Dorr is not, does not want to come back. She was on the special events committee. That's what she was reporting on. The other position was the, because Angela will be building and grounds, the vice president position is open, and another members at large position is open to replace the parliamentarian position that we no longer have.
Which position?
Another members at large position, and that would be for scholarship.
Oh, scholarship.
Okay, so scholarship needs to be, vice president needs to be selected. But all of the incumbents, including me, will go through the interviewing process before the nominating committee. Any other questions? Yes?
I have a question for Pat.
Wait for the microphone.
Oh.
He's jogging up.
I have a question for Pat with the food committee. Has your committee identified what our problems are in getting and retaining employees in the dining area? Obviously, there's something, whether we're not paying enough money, whether we're not training, whether we're not organized well enough that they know what they're doing. Have you identified these problems?
Marilyn is
Presented all of the above.
is the chairperson of the dining services.
This is not just our problem, it's a nationwide problem, because I've spoken to other people that are having the same problem that we are. It's not just us. I don't know what's happening with the people. We hire some young people and they work for a little while, and this is not what they want to do, and they need, and that's it.
I am in touch with other council presidents in CCRCs, and in some cases, for example, the Fountains in Sarasota, Florida, what they did, they just closed the dining room because they could not hire enough wait staff. So they took the one extreme. Here, I think Ron has excuse me, made the effort to make sure he keeps the dining room open. And I don't have to tell you, we have all suffered with long waits in the dining room to just even get water served to us, let alone the meal. Nancy?
I just wonder if they're getting enough hours. I think maybe if they're only getting like 3 hours.
No, in fact, most of them are getting overtime. Most of them are working overtime hours. And of course, I'm sure you're aware that they've even had housekeepers come in and spend weekend hours on the wait staff. And they're paid $5 more per hour than what they normally receive as their base pay for their housekeeping services. And housekeeping is going to be another problem, in my opinion. we've got all these new people moving into units, and those units need to be cleaned. So, we can be facing, but we're not the only ones in this predicament. Other CCRCs are has the same problems as we have. And I wish there was an easy answer. I wish there was a solution. But I don't know of any.
Well, you said that in Florida, they actually closed the dining room. Can you legally do that? I thought.
Well, yeah, they served all the meals to them in their, brought all their meals to their units or apartments.
Oh, okay.
Just like they used to do here when the dining room was closed.
I thought you meant just close the
No,
kitchen.
they have to serve them.
Very good. Thank you.
But they don't have to serve them in the dining room. They can serve them to you in your own facility. And I think they've taken the position here where they would like to not do that, not close them. The dining room is, to many people, is their only social activity they have. It's their only opportunity to talk to other people. And some still have chosen not to do this. Some have still chosen to stay at home. And I cannot answer for them. Any other questions? Let's make sure you all know what's happening here. Let me mention one thing, the gate. If your gate opener is not working, go to the front desk. Your gate opening device has to be replaced. Okay? So if yours is not working and opening that north gate, go back to the front desk and they will exchange it for you.
Well, but, excuse me, but when this notice came out, I took mine up immediately because it didn't work. So they gave me a new one. Guess what? It doesn't work. And now the other ones aren't back, so maybe today or maybe tomorrow or maybe
I know. Dan?
I was just going to say what Bob did there. I talked to Donna this morning, and they are all out of clickers, but they expect new ones in tomorrow.
Okay. New clickers tomorrow. So go back to the desk if yours is not working. Another thing that happens tomorrow between 10 o'clock and 2 o'clock, there'll be flu shots and, from what I read, COVID shots available on a first-come, first-served basis in the auditorium here. So if you're looking to get a flu shot or a COVID booster shot, it will be available here tomorrow morning. Any other questions? Yes, Roger?
Oh, I just thought it'd be nice if you announced what's happening in here at 3 o'clock.
It's going to end up.
Oh, 3. Well, I don't know, but obviously it has something to do with Castaways.
Castaways performance.
There'll be another Castaway performance this afternoon at 3 o'clock. And those of you who attended the last one, which was really good, come back again, and I'm sure you'll be entertained one more time. That's at 3 o'clock, Roger?
Yes.
3 o'clock right here in the auditorium. Anything else that you'd like for me to talk about? Well, I don't have anything else. Anything else from the council? No. Thank you very much for attending. Let's vote to adjourn. Anyone second? Have a second. Thank you very much for attending.